Well, the father of a U.S. Marine killed in Iraq has now won a stunning jury award, nearly $11 million, in a lawsuit against a controversial fundamentalist church. The followers of the Westboro Baptist Church picket military funerals because they say they believe that the Iraq War and its casualties are God's punishment for America's tolerance of homosexuality. Well, the funeral for Al Snyder's son Matthew was interrupted by these church protesters last March. He took them to court and he won big time. Al Snyder joins us from York, Pennsylvania this morning. Thanks for being with us, Al. And first of all, let me say we're sorry for the loss of your son.
Thank you, Karen.
You know, for years we've watched these images of these church members holding up these hateful signs, screaming, many people feeling outrage, anger, shock, and even a little bit helpless, I think. You managed to take all of that, put it into action, and sue the church and its leaders. What was your reaction when you found out about the ruling in your favor?
Well, of course, I was very happy. I think the first thing I thought about was my son, Matt. And I don't think the dollar amount has really even sunken in on me yet. I think about all the Matt's friends that are Marines, and I think about the other parents that have had to go through this, and I think about anybody that has had to go through this. I don't think there's anything more private than a funeral, and frankly, I don't care where these people protest, to be honest with you, but not at a funeral.
Yeah, I heard you say that last night, too, that it's not about cutting off free speech, and if they want to be outside of a courthouse, go ahead, but that a funeral for a fallen soldier is certainly a different story. Let's listen, though, to what the church's leader, Fred Phelps, said last night.
They don't want me preaching that God is punishing America by killing those servicemen. And if that's why he's doing it and sending them home in body bags, then the appropriate forum of choice would be their funerals. And there's nothing wrong with preaching respectfully at a great distance from the funeral when it's going on.
First of all, what's your response to that? Because you say it was not, forget even being there, but that they actually disrupted your son's funeral, correct?
Correct. Correct. I kind of look at these people as kind of delusional. The whole thing that they're saying they protest, it just doesn't make any sense to what they're doing. I think the biggest concern I have about the family, and I'm not going to talk about anybody, because one thing I can honestly say about my son was he was the type of person that if he didn't have something good to say about somebody, he kept his mouth shut. But I do feel sorry for the children in this church. I pray for those children every night. I feel sorry for them.
Yeah, and when you see the signs and some of the young people holding up the signs with those types of hateful messages, it's scary. Do you ever fear any repercussions from this group?
No, not really. I don't worry about that kind of stuff. What's going to be is going to be. And I think I got a lot of Marines up there watching out for me.
I bet you do, actually. Reverend Phelps is now saying, I mean, clearly unapologetic from what we heard. He's saying he's going to appeal this decision. And regardless of whether or not you see any of this money, do you think that he is going to think twice and stay away from military funerals?
Well, I think initially, to prove their point, he will do some more. But I think it will stop. And as far as the appeals go, we kind of know that's going to happen. I think the big thing for me right now is, I have this big reward from the courts, but it'll be years before I probably can see any of it. And the big question is, am I going to be financially able to afford all the appeals? I ask people to go onto the website and, look at, read the stories, and if they want to help out with further lawsuits, I would appreciate it.
What's your website?
Any money. It's www.matthewsnyder.org.
Okay.
And like I said, my big concern is just having the money to continue the battle at this point.
All right. Well, I have a feeling that there will be other people backing you in this situation and in the ongoing legal fights, as we said. Al Snyder suing the demonstrators and winning. Thanks for being with us this morning.
You're welcome, Karen.